Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another media night here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. It's Omnibros Live on a Wednesday. We got a lot to talk about. So, yeah, and we got like an hour because I'm not feeling 100% tonight physically. Like, it's been a rough day for me, but we're going to get through it and talk about all the cool stuff that is literally still being announced as of we're doing this video because the Netflix Geeked or whatever crappy name they went by, that's happening, and they're doing Animation Day. I'm a big fan of that, so I wanted to talk about it. And of course, we got trailers, movies, series. It's insane, but we're gonna get through it together. Don't worry, don't get scared. We're gonna get along just fine this hour. So welcome everybody. I'm still petitioning for any Inhumans omnibus, and I'm joined, of course, by the always awesome Comics Guide. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Not much. It was an okay day, but at some point during the afternoon, I think I did. This is gonna sound super weird. Unnecessary movements where I just hurt my back somehow at work. So I've been super annoyed, and I've been stretching since the afternoon, and so I got home. I feel like all the stress from the day just weighing me down. So I'm like, as soon as this show's over, I don't think I'm gonna I'm supposed to finish editing a video for my channel. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm probably gonna fall asleep. So we'll see what happens. If you guys see a video uploaded super early, that means I worked on it, and if not, well then it's gonna be later.
Yeah. No, dude, I feel you on that. I know pretty much exactly how you feel. I've just had a chronic lower. I think it might be my sciatica.
Oh, you suffer from that? Oh, that sucks.
I think it is. I think it's just my lower back pain. It's just I've been having lower back pain for the last few years, and I get some relief by literally just trying to pop it myself. It might be the sciatica, it might be something else. I don't know, but I have to pop it every few hours, or else it just bothers me.
I feel I should know this because and I don't mean this to brag, but I'm the most knowledgeable on useless trivia in Omnibros. You are 3 years younger than me, right?
Correct. I'm 32.
Okay, so I was gonna say we're in our 30s, so that's probably why we're feeling the way that we feel. Oh my god, getting old sucks.
Yeah, it really doesn't hinder me in any way, shape, or form. It just bothers me every once in a while.
Yeah, welcome to old age. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of old age, that was a bad segue. Rewind. Hi, friends. Speaking of friends, you know who's our friend and has amazing deals? That is, of course, InStockTrades.com, your home for all things collected editions, whether it be an omnibus, trade paperback, manga, all that cool stuff. You find it at InStockTrades.com, your home for all things collected editions. Up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts tack on an extra 2% to that. And if you visited the website this week, you might have noticed that the new releases were uploaded, I think, for the very first time, Tuesday at noon Eastern Standard Time. They're trying out a new format. They got everything early, I guess, and they uploaded it early to the site 3 hours earlier, which is awesome. I saw that, and I ordered a manga volume, the new Blade of the Immortal Deluxe hardcover. So that's awesome. Got picked and scanned, and it's already on its way. You got to check out InStock Trades. Fantastic customer service and wonderful packaging at IST, your home for collected editions. Oh, yeah. Proud sponsor of Omnibros Live here on the Omnibus Collectors Network.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, baby. What up, handsome bros? Hayden, thank you for joining.
This has been an insane 2 weeks in terms of media. All the stuff that has either premiered as I just feel like we've been hit hard with just a bunch of really cool stuff.
Let's get this out of the way. Today, we've finally had the first trailer for Black Adam. I am extremely excited for this. This is my most hyped movie of the year, for me personally.
You know what? this jumped up my list to probably right there next to
with
Thor: Love and Thunder.
yeah, I was thinking
Like
that.
right there.
Yeah.
And I think it might just top it because I don't like the way Gore looks, the God Butcher, and that kind of just bumped my expectations.
Yeah.
Like, damn it. But I fucking love Dr. Fate. I love Dr. Fate, dude, and the fact that he's in this, I hope it's not just like a little cameo
Oh yeah.
or whatever. I hope he's in this good chunk.
And I
This
think
is great.
you have to admit, The Rock is to blame for our excitement because
Yes.
the man knows how to hype stuff up.
Yes.
And he gets paid the big money for it, and we see that here because I'm just super giddy about this movie. The
Yeah.
fact that we're getting Black Adam and that side of the DC world, and the friggin' JSA. I'm all over this movie. I can't wait. Like you
Yeah.
said, Doctor Fate, my favorite Doctor in comics. Sorry, Doctor Strange. I've always said that, and that's nothing new if you follow this channel. And I think he's going to rock it. Pierce Brosnan was an excellent choice. Good casting.
Yes. Yeah, it seems like the Rock. The cool thing about The Rock is that it seems like every generation we have that one huge A-list actor that no matter what they put out, people are going to flock to see it.
Yeah.
The 80s had Arnold. The 90s, it was Will Smith. The 2000s, I kind of struggle with that one, but the 2010s, it's The Rock, hands down. Whatever the man is in, it prints money, and I think it has to do with a lot that he's got from all accounts, he seems like he's a genuinely really cool and nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he does have that charisma and the star power. Not only that, but the products he chooses to be a part of typically are pretty good.
Yeah.
He has his win to loss ratio as far as what's good and what's bad is very small. And even the stuff that is like critically not that great, things like Rampage, I'm like, that's pretty fun.
I still need to see that. I've only seen bits and pieces of it on TV.
Yeah, I think it's actually a really fun movie. And every scene Jeffrey Dean Morgan is Jeffrey Dean Morgan steals every fucking scene he's in, and you can just tell he's just having fun playing Negan, but a scientist or whatever.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying like maybe The Rock could use like that one original action movie, like the other A-listers that you mentioned, they had like that career defining role.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times people tend to say like, oh, I'm just seeing The Rock in different roles. It's the same persona because he's so famous. He's so passionate about Black Adam. He's been trying to make this movie for at least 4 years now.
Years.
And he produced. He was an executive producer for Shazam, so he's heavily involved in this project. I think it. I hope. This is my prediction. I think it's going to be special for him, and I'm super excited for that. I hope it's good.
You know, my hope for this, and this is probably a high bar, but for me, the DCU still has not had their Iron Man. I really hope this is their Iron Man, where it's like, wow, that was something really fucking special.
Yeah. And all I'm saying is Shazam better start training because Black Adam is going to kick some ass.
I just seeing Zachary Levi and The Rock, I'm just like, I don't know, man.
My boy needs to train some more and ditch the muscle suit.
Yeah. Well, that was the whole thing with The Rock. The Rock showed up to set for the suit fitting, and they had the padding in the suit, and he goes, I don't fucking need this padding in the suit. You can take this out.
I think he's the heaviest, right? He's ever been muscle-wise for this movie.
I don't think so.
Or however you say it. I don't know. I'm not an expert in that area.
I don't think so. He was fucking ginormous for Pain and Gain, which is a movie about taking steroids and bodybuilding.
Okay.
He was a monster in Pain and Gain.
Wow. I don't think I've seen that movie. That's from who directed that?
Michael Bay.
Bay? Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it then.
It's a fun movie. Yeah, it's really good.
Hawkman looks fantastic.
He looks great.
Rose Gray.
Yeah, he looks great.
Cyclone, we didn't get a good look at her, but I'm sure she's gonna rock it. And Atom Smasher looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Giant Man on steroids, and I love it.
Yeah.
And yes, I want The Rock wants that to happen. I think he'll make it happen. Black Adam versus Superman. I want to see that.
And the thing is, Cavill is 38. Cavill's still young, really young, and the guy is in amazing shape. He still keeps up in great shape, so he could put the suit on tomorrow, and I think he'd be just fine.
Have you seen the animated short that they did, the Black Adam versus Shazam and Superman or whatever?
No.
Just do that in live action, because it's Black Adam wakes up, he fights Shazam, and then Shazam gets help from, or Captain Marvel gets help from Superman to fight against Black Adam. It's like a 20-minute short, but it's awesome. If they can translate that into a live action movie, solid.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's nothing against Zachary Levi, but I'd believe Henry Cavill over Zachary Levi against The Rock almost any day of the week.
Pain and Gain is one of the best acting of The Rock. Nice. What else did I like from that? I do like the music that they're incorporating, like hip hop and like, I don't know how to say it, folkloric music, Egyptian themed or whatever, Arabic. Sounds awesome. And the color and the line that he says when he's shooting the lightning for the first time, when he wakes up and kills all the military men, goosebumps. I love that stuff.
Yeah. What this shows me is it seems like, one, The Rock really cared about this project. Like you said, he's been talking about this for years. And two, it seems like they nailed who Black Adam is. Because for all intents and purposes, when Black Adam joined the JSA during Jeff Johns' run, he was still kind of that wild card where, well, he's in the group, but we don't necessarily trust him 100%. It's more of he's the powerhouse that we need in this group.
This was one of the posters, even though it's drawings, it's still pretty cool, and you can see the costumes and everybody there. So I wanted to pull this up because Cleveland Brown was asking. I take it Cyclone isn't a redhead. She will be for the movie.
Yep.
Which is cool. Kenny, love the Black Adam trailer. Look cool, especially Dr. Fate. Hell freaking yes. I'm so excited. Yeah. Have you seen the McFarlane Black Adam figure? Yes, of course I did.
Yes, it did.
Amazing.
Oh, it looks so good.
And I don't even care about movie figures, but I'm like, damn, I could get that. I am gonna get that Dr. Fate figure. When that drops, I'm getting it. It's been spoiled. I saw the leaks on Reddit, but I'm gonna get it.
No, I want the whole line. Honestly, if they do McFarlane like a line of all these, I want the whole thing.
Hell yeah!
And God help me if we're getting a hot toy. We're getting a hot toy.
Yeah, we have one for Shazam.
Yeah, a hot toy of Dr. Fate is done. I gotta get it.
Yeah, that's awesome. There was another poster. Let me see if I can find it real quick. They were mostly hand drawn and stuff, which is cool. Obviously, that's not going to be the final poster. More like a teaser. I miss drawing movie posters, but what are you going to do? Let's see if I can find the other one.
Is this is set in the past and in the present, right? That's the whole gimmick of this?
Yes. I think most of the movie will be in the present, and he's recounting his past, I think. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe. Black Adam poster. Oh, here it is. I like this one. Hold on. I have this on my phone.
Hayden, you really owe it to yourself to go read that Jeff Johns JSA run. It's great.
I never finished that, and I am going to do that before the movie drops because I'm just hyped up. And I finished watching. Kenny will like this comment that I'm going to say. I finished watching the 2 seasons of Stargirl, and that had a lot of JSA stuff in it. So I'm just hyped for more JSA reading in my life. Yeah. So this poster I really like, or this concept drawing, or whatever it is. As you can see here. Looking super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm a JSA guy over the Justice League.
Yeah, I agree with you. I need to get the Jeff John JSA run. Yeah. Are you gonna get the Omnis? I don't know if they're in stock, but they should be. I think those are evergreen at some.
Yeah.
I'm probably making that up. I don't know. Don't trust me.
Yeah, they have a
Sorry,
great.
so good.
One of my favorite one-shot issues is in that run. It's Wildcat, and he's alone in the Hall of Justice, and a whole bunch of villains decide to attack that one day, and it's Wildcat just slowly fighting them off throughout the entire issue. It's really
Dude,
fun stuff.
Wildcat's awesome. I love
Yeah.
that character. He's the for me. Don't get upset, nerds. He's my DC Daredevil. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna share some Twitter stuff, but it's a lot of videos, and I don't know if we can do that or not. So I'm just gonna scroll by real quick because Netflix went all crazy with their geeked stuff. We had the Sandman trailer. Did you watch that?
You know, I did. Well, we'll get into it in a minute. Yes, I did.
So they revealed that they showed off. They showed off a bunch of shows that I don't know about, and there was something else comic book related, and I can't remember what it was. So, Chad, if you can help me out with that, I'd appreciate it. Let me share my Twitter here, and we're gonna get into Obi-Wan because what's the other show? Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
In a minute. I don't care about those two shows as much as what we're talking now. So hold on. This is my Twitter, guys. So if you see something inappropriate, I don't care.
Okay.
I'm being funny. Don't humor me is what I like to say. So this is coming out, Masters of the Universe Revolution. So it's going to be a sequel to the previously released Masters of the Universe cartoon, which a lot of people hated for dumb reasons.
That was the Kevin Smith one?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I fucking love that one. That was great.
Yeah, here's Kevin Smith reacting to it. Yeah. After Revelation comes Revolution. I'm like, did you guys really watch He-Man back in the day for the plot?
No.
Or was it for the toys?
Listen. The guys that hated that show are near mid condition fans. So we don't we don't pay attention to them on this channel. So.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Here's your first look at Exception, a new sci-fi anime following the team of survivors tasked with exploring the galaxy to terraform a new home planet and save humanity from the brink of extinction.
Cool.
Okay. If there's video, it's gonna suck. No, there's no video. Okay. It's kind of weird. If this is CG blend with 2D, I'm not gonna watch it. Just saying. I hate that. I'm not a fan. From the visionary Wit Studio. You had me at Wit Studio. That is one of my top 5 anime studios of all time. Get ready for Moonrise, an exciting and visually breathtaking anime that explores the vast hardships of exploring outer space. Yes. Thank you. I am going to check this out. Wit Studio, of course, Attack on Titan, one of their flagship productions, anime.
Cool.
I will check this out. I haven't seen Bubble yet. There's a spin-off movie from the Seven Deadly Sins, Grudge of Edinburgh. But that it tells the story of Tristan from Seven Deadly Sins. I just started reading the manga, so I don't know any of this. But I hope the animation's good because the last bit of season 3, was god awful.
How is that? You haven't seen the anime or anything? Because my
no. I know nothing about it. I literally just started a couple weeks ago reading the Omnibus edition.
Okay.
Inside Job coming back for season 2. I've heard good things about this show. I wanna check it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a smart comedy of Secret Service and paranormal stuff and like Area 51 and aliens and all that. This is a very popular series, manga. Uncle from Another World is it's an isekai. It's getting an anime and it's going to broadcast on Netflix, which I'm not a fan of because Netflix does not let they keep their shows in Netflix jail and don't release them in physical media. Is what I'm getting at. This is pretty cool. Skull Island. Now so this is cool. I'm gonna rant for a second, and you guys are gonna roll your eyes.
Oh,
When this was first announced, they said this is part of the MonsterVerse with Skull Island. They said, "Oh, it's an anime series," and I'm like, "Nope, that ain't an anime because it's down. It's done by what's the name of these guys over here?
Powerhouse.
Powerhouse Animation. They're the ones that did Castlevania.
Fuck, I love that
And
series though, dude.
It's anime inspired.
Uh-huh.
It's not anime because this studio is in the good old US of A.
Right.
So I'm glad that they fixed this, and it says here, first look, a new animated series set in the MonsterVerse. So yeah, I think it's gonna look cool.
I love that fucking Castlevania series, but I think this will be, for me, this will be the studio's real test because they had the thing that was probably their biggest up for that Castlevania series was they had Warren Ellis that wrote the whole thing from beginning to end.
Yeah.
So that was probably their biggest like thumbs up, their biggest feather in their cap. This to me is going to be their real test to see how this comes out. But I love the Castlevania stuff. I'm super jonesing for this.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Anything MonsterVerse, I'm in.
Yeah, it's Netflix is really investing in the anime stuff.
They just cut a huge chunk of their original animation budget, but they're investing in getting licenses from anime and other studios, which is ridiculous.
Jesus.
Yep.
Well, they came out and they said, "Well, we're scaling back a lot of things, and we want to do is we really want to focus on quality over quantity," which I think that's been what's been biting them in the ass over the last few years. Is just putting out, because if you go on Netflix right now, 90% of it is junk. It really is. Most of it isn't that great.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. Which
I scroll through it sometimes because I have an account thanks to a friend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's nothing that interests me here aside from like the famous stuff. Like aside from that stuff, I'm like scrolling. I'm like, because like the things I'm interested in, which is mostly animation and anime, I can watch that on Crunchyroll and Hulu. So Netflix, I'm like, I don't care. So we'll see. Hopefully it works out. The guy who was the dude that produced you just said the name a couple minutes ago, Castlevania.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the dude, the name of the dude that produced that?
I forgot. Aren't they working on, I thought they were working on Devil May Cry.
That's what I was getting at. That they're getting Powerhouse is working with that guy to make Devil May Cry and Skull Island.
Sweet.
He wants to do Berserk, but I think it would be great, but I'd rather see like an anime studio tackle Berserk. But if it doesn't happen, Powerhouse, go for it, man.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm all with you. I think Berserk, Japanese studio.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I would kind of like to see what Powerhouse would do with something like that.
I think the original anime, the 90s one, was done by OLM.
Yeah.
And I could see them. It'd be fun if they got it again because they've changed a lot. And I've been hooked on. There's a show I'm watching, Summertime Rendering, which just got the manga was released stateside, and it looks gorgeous. Really cool character, like the character designs and the backgrounds and all that. So I would like to see them tackle it. But Powerhouse, if you're interested, go for it. I mean, after the disastrous 2016 series, what could go wrong? The next thing, yeah, go ahead.
Hey, kids, you want to see the eclipse one more time?
Oh, God. Yeah. This surprised me. Netflix is doing a new Junji Ito anime called Junji Ito's Maniac. And from this trailer, I hope we don't get... I'm just going to do this.
Yeah.
Junji Ito. Okay. So Ito said it's going to be like a compilation from different short stories. So I think it's going to be similar to what was done previously, But if it's for Netflix, I hope it does have some quality to it because the previous Ito collection anime was really bad. I didn't like it. I liked like one episode, and that was just okay. Everything else was really bad. So good for him. I love Junji Ito.
We're still
Uh,
waiting for that Adult Swim series. So
that's coming out this year in for Halloween, October.
fuck yeah, I
Yeah,
can't wait.
that was supposed to come out in 2020. Then it got delayed for 2021, but they needed to work on it some more. So now it's 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Another trailer that I probably can't show for too much, Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Now, this is exciting. Let me pull up the poster here. Because if I like Wood Studios, I like Studio Trigger more.
Yeah.
Trigger, they've done so many emblematic stuff. Premiere, Gurren Lagann. Although Gurren Lagann was done by the same crew, but before they formed Trigger.
Mm.
But Kill la Kill, for example, so it has that kinetic, high-speed energy that something like a cyberpunk show would need. So I'm super excited. I know
Yeah.
people hated the game, but I'm going to watch this, and I'm thinking of grabbing. I keep forgetting to grab the game because it's so freaking cheap. I do want to get the PlayStation 4 game.
Dude, you have next gen consoles. It's worth it.
Yeah,
It's totally worth it now.
they've patched it up. I don't mind.
I just beat it about a month and a half ago, something like that, a month ago.
You like it?
And I've fucking really enjoyed the hell out of it. I mean, it's still got its problems,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. But I think it has one of the best open worlds that I've ever seen. It's such a fun game.
Yeah. It was based on a tabletop game. I think that was it. And It has some books and novels. So I'm interested.
Yeah, it's all based off of a tabletop game by Mike Pondsmith. Is the guy who created it. So.
Tasty Melon. Have you seen Erased or Ajin on Netflix? Erased, yes, which was really good. Ajin, I don't like the animation style for it. So I want to read the manga instead. So definitely watch Erased. It's amazing. It'll pull at your heartstrings. It's a nice sci-fi-ish mystery story. I think it's superb. A lot of people would say, "Oh, the manga's better." Just watch the show. If you like it and you want to read the manga, then that's great. But
yeah,
I'm an anime fan, so I'll always recommend the shows.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can see here a couple scenes from that.
That looks so good.
What is okay?
And yeah, I agree with you. Studio Trigger was the perfect studio to give this to.
Yeah, they're perfect for this. You remember the Star Wars Vision short that they did with the twins?
It was the best one.
That was super fun.
Yeah.
This looks amazing. I can't wait. This hyped me up to play the game, believe it or not. I'm like, yeah, I need to play Cyberpunk. Let me stop sharing for a second. Let's see if they've released anything else. Geek Week, Animation Day. I watched the Love, Death, and Robots, the short that everybody was talking about, Hibaro. It was really good, but I was annoyed and I tweeted about it. Like, did anybody make any sort of research on flora and fauna when it comes to Puerto Rico? Nobody did.
I saw that. Yeah, no, I saw that.
Nobody did, because if you watch the short, it's supposed to be set in Puerto Rico during the Spanish era with the conquistadors, but it looks like you're in Canada, and you got pine trees, and it's the fall. We don't see fall leaves, foliage here, where it turns yellowish, brown, and reddish. None of that happens here.
No.
The leaves just fall dead. That's it. We don't see the different colors like in northern areas in the world, in the hemisphere or whatever. And but everything else was really good. I liked that they took a shot at it and made like their own little folklore with sirens in a lake. I'm back. Sorry.
You're good.
Everybody was hyping up short, so I had to check it out just to see what the hell was happening. But I need to go back and watch the rest of season 3 because it looks amazing.
Cool. And I've never seen any of it.
Season 1 is very risque and not safe for workish with sex and nudity. It's still a lot of fun, and I do recommend it. I made a review on it on my channel like 100 years ago. Season 2 is more focused on the stories, and season any day now. Okay, give me a second. Let me fix something. I'll be right back. Give me 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, man. No problem. Kenneth asks, are you guys getting the Flash by Mark Waid omnibus when it comes out? Kenneth, you know me, man. I don't have the space for it, and I don't do physical books anymore. So it's all digital for me, pal. You know, if I could put it inside of a tablet and read it there, I will 100% do it, especially since I just got my new iPad. So that thing is a monster. It's a fucking huge tablet.
I forgot I had some devices turned on with the Wi-Fi, so I shut that off just in case. See if it fixes the connection issues. Oh, excuse me. Flash Omnibus? No, not at this point. Because I'm collecting more manga than I am graphic novels. I still get random stuff here and there, but I am working out a new solution to store my Western superhero stuff in a different shelf. So that would give me a lot of room to get more stuff. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I got to control myself and not go crazy buying random stuff.
Right.
But who knows? Maybe one day I'll go crazy and be like, you know what? The Flash, Mark Waid Omnibus, sure, why not? But not at this point. Not at this time.
It's yeah, dude. It's when you have that collector's mindset, it's difficult. It's difficult because you're like, well, I kind of want this to add to the collection, but do I really need it?
And suddenly you have space for stuff, and you immediately think, I got to fill it out.
Oh my God.
But then I keep thinking to myself, no, I better like save that money for other stuff, because there are a couple Grail stuff that I'm not going to talk about here because it's a boring conversation. There are a lot of Grail items that I do want that are unrelated to comics and manga. Yeah, and I'd rather put funds towards that.
Yeah, no, I mean, as you know, I'm a sneakerhead, so I have a lot of sneakers. So
we're cutting the Omni. I love that. Let's go with that. Yeah, let's do that. I love it.
So it's a thing where, I just had to clear out and move some space and move some things away and give some things away and stuff like that, which you really should just purge out your closet at least once a year. Because a lot of times we look in our closet and we go, do I really wear that? I've worn it maybe once and then that was it. So that was kind of what I did the other day.
Yeah. 100. I can't highlight the comment. There it is. 100% digital, not even a single graphic novel.
Yep.
Maybe one day, Bizarro Land, and you get like one omnibus.
Just don't have the space.
And people go crazy. Michael Collins, I thought your birthday was a couple weeks ago, but happy birthday again, I guess.
Happy birthday
because I do remember wishing you a happy birthday. But hey, happy birthday,
happy birthday,
Redux.
Congratulations.
Here's a.
Oh man, Geo's bottoming out on the internet.
Sandman, don't resub to Netflix. That's my opinion.
Oh, we're good? Okay. Will Sandman be good enough to resub to Netflix?
Don't do it.
I wouldn't do it, honestly. Just wait. Just wait. I mean, it looks promising. It looks really promising.
It looks good. I like the trailer. It looks good from what I
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah, but
And Neil worked on it as an executive producer, and he's heavily
I mean,
involved in it. He's
he's been
happy with it. I
yeah,
don't know.
he's been trying to get this off the ground since the 90s. See, everything that I've seen about this is the story of Morpheus. I'm like, that's cool. Morpheus is only in the book for about 30% of the time. So what is this show really? Is this going to focus on Morpheus, or is this going to focus on the other 70% that's in the book as well?
Maybe it's going to be a new take on the franchise.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, I'm cool with it. I have no problem with that. I'm just kind of wondering if they're going to pull the rug from under us and people are expecting something, and we start watching the Netflix series, where the fuck is Morpheus?
Yeah. We'll see. I still haven't read all of it, so I can't give my thoughts on it yet. But
Yeah.
I am slowly getting hardcovers and one son of a bitch. I have good signal. The problem for me, at least, it's freaking StreamYard.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me take this off. Okay, let's see if that works. Let me close some other stuff. There we go. Here's something really interesting. James pointed it out. I was just going to highlight it.
Yeah.
We're getting a new. I think it's going to work, honestly, because the story is simple enough. Okay. Netflix is doing a live action movie based on Zom 100, which is a Japanese manga, and it's very popular. It recently got nominated for an Eisner for like best comedy book. I think the story is simple enough that you can pull it off to have a live action based off of this. Essentially, this. Let me read off the plot here for a minute. Hold on, because I only read like 2 chapters. I'm a horrible manga fan. Riley has read it. He can probably give you a thesis on it, but not me. Zom 100. Oh my gosh. Okay. So it says the description here. Hopefully, I don't freeze up. After spending years toiling away for a soul-crushing company, Akira's life has lost its luster. But when a zombie apocalypse ravages his town, it gives him the push he needs to live for himself. Now Akira's on a mission to complete all 100 items on his bucket list before he, well, kicks the bucket. That's the simple premise. And it's very funny. And I've only read just a handful of chapters. So I think this should be easy enough where it translates well and you don't have that awkwardness of like, oh, anime shouldn't go to live action. I think this one, you're good. I don't think you can mess it up.
Cool.
Horror comedy, that should go over well.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Okay, so, oh my god, I was gonna say Moon Knight. I'm like, no, wait, it's what's the other show? Obi-Wan. I'm messed up. You said earlier Morpheus, and in my head, I kept thinking of the freaking Morbius movie. I'm like, he's talking about Sandman, Gio. Get it together. It's not Morbius.
Is it Morbin time, Gio? Is it
pretty soon? Once we finish the show, it'll be Morbin time.
Okay.
Obi-Wan. We haven't talked about it because we had the reunion show last week.
Right.
Let's just do like overall thoughts because we don't have to review the episodes because everybody's already done that. What are your thoughts so far on Obi-Wan?
Okay, so fair disclosure, I've only seen the first 2 episodes. I haven't seen episodes 3 and 4, which everybody tells me episode 3 is really good. Like It's probably the best one. It's probably the best one of the series.
Yeah,
I have not seen that yet.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I know, and I've heard it's fantastic. So first 2 episodes are overall, I liked the first episode more than the second one. I think it's really interesting that we're kind of seeing the in between years of what happened with the character and stuff like that. I have my problems mainly with I have my problems mainly with the character of Riva. And it's not and I know the actress has gotten a lot of shit
Oh my
online,
god, yeah.
and I feel terrible for her. Because regardless of what you feel about her and her performance and the character in general, when you bring her race into it, you're just an asshole at that point.
Yep,
When you're just making racist comments to her,
I agree.
you're just being a dick, and you don't. It invalidates every single thing you said. Having said that, I don't think she's that good in the show. Just as a character, I can't tell if it's the writing or if it's her in general, but I don't think she's that great in the role.
The one thing that I don't like about the show, unfortunately, is that character.
Yeah.
And let me just say this, because I know I see this all the time.
Yeah.
We're not experts, but we can give our opinions on what we think.
Right.
Because I'm one that I think the two dumbest thing that or three dumbest things people argue about are sports, movies, and politics.
Yep.
Because everything's aside from politics, everything is objective, subjective, whatever.
Yeah.
The two of them combined, active. And people might think, oh, look at these two nerds talk about what do they know? They haven't done acting. That's true, but I think the character might be a little too what's the proper term for it? Like too much, like
Mustache twirly, like mustache twirly.
yeah, like super over the top. And the voice for that character sounds like a modern thing and doesn't sound like a Star Wars villain.
Yeah.
Maybe she's just bringing her own style to it, and that's wonderful. But I can't. I don't know. I don't like it that much. I do like the transition from the prequel stuff going into the original
Yes.
Trilogy. You see that obviously with the stormtroopers, blah blah blah. But the style and the cinematography is leaning towards the original trilogy, and Ewan McGregor, his performance, it's a little bit more slow because he's getting older physically and in the role because he's supposed to be matching up to Alec Guinness.
Yes.
So I like that. And in later episodes, this is not a spoiler because he's a Jedi. You know he's going to use his lightsaber. He's a lot more slower using it because he spent like 10 years not using the Force or whatever, suppressing it. So I really like those details. It's a very slow, dramatic series that when you watch episode 3 with the return of a certain character that everybody's excited to watch, it makes me feel so bad for Obi-Wan, and it's really about his coming to terms with what happened, and he's in this dark hole of depression and sadness, and how does he climb up from that?
Yeah.
And the fact that they got James Earl Jones back, this is slight spoilers because not really, because
I know. Yeah.
James Earl Jones is one of my all-time favorite voice actors, and he's one of my inspirations. And he's freaking 91 years old. And you listen to him as a certain character, wink, wink, and it's like I'm back watching the original Star Wars. The man, I don't know how he does it. The voice is still spot on, super young sounding. I'm like, wow, dude, that is so inspiring. I love it.
That's fantastic.
I do like that you see. I thought it was just going to be about Luke, but no, it's a story about Leia, and that's really cool. I was not expecting that. I thought it was just going to be him watching over Luke and some fighting in Tatooine, and that's not the case.
Yeah, no. that was probably the biggest thing that blindsided me. Is I thought this was going to be okay. It's Obi-Wan kind of chilling in the desert, maybe going to space, Burning Man, and all that stuff. And something happens to Luke, and he's got to. No, this is a Leia story as well. You nailed it.
Yep.
This is not only an Obi-Wan story; it's a Leia story, and how that story ties in. Because in the original trilogy, Leia is very much aware of who Obi-Wan is, and this is kind of exploring that relationship and her first meeting him and what that's like. And I really dig that part. I will say, Obi-Wan is supposed to be going undercover, and I'm like, motherfucker, you kept the robe and you're still wearing it around wherever you go. I'm like,
and he hooks the lightsaber to his hip. I'm like, at any point, a gust of wind can blow the robe open, and people can see the freaking lightsaber guy. Come on, man.
So it's. I am 2 episodes in, and I don't hate it. I'm really enjoying the series. I'm liking it a whole lot more than whatever the hell Boba Fett was, aka Mandalorian season 2.5. I think this is much better than that. This is a bigger step up. But I think the biggest thing about this, and I don't know if we get Hayden Christensen in episodes 3 and 4 yet or not. I think the biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing the motion thingy.
Okay.
He is Darth Vader in the show, but not his voice.
I think the biggest thing about this for me is that you get to see Ewan McGregor reprise this role, and goddamn if he isn't killing it. I think he's doing a great job in this fucking thing, man. And I think he really nails, like you mentioned, that transition between the younger Obi-Wan and the one that we see in the original trilogy, and you start seeing kind of his dialect slowing down, certain affectations that you would see in the original trilogy and things like. I think he's 100% the reason to watch this.
Yeah. Mr. Betty Ford coming in here to bum me out. I totally forgot about the AI thing, and I'm looking at an article online, and that looks to be the case, but it is an assisted thingamajig. But I still stand by James Earl Jones still crushing it, because he voiced he did the voice in what's the animated thing, Lion King, the relaunch or whatever.
Yeah,
and that didn't use any of the assisted thing, and he sounded amazing in it. So I'm just gonna assume it helped, but he did most of that stuff. Don't ruin this experience for me, Mr. Bettyford, with your logic and facts.
Hey, real quick, I want to know if this hit you like it did me, and we'll move on pretty quick from this. We typically tend to move away from like what's going on in the real world on this show and stuff like that, but
yeah,
you know what I'm going to bring up. Did you kind of get it? I did, and this happened to me when I watched the season 4 of Stranger Things. Did you get kind of like an feeling in your stomach because of the subject matter and what happened in Texas and everything like that?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I started watching the episode. I completely forgot about that. And I did not make the connection because I knew I was jumping into Star Wars. Right. And I already knew it's depicting something that happened in the prequels and all that stuff. But when I read about it, I'm like, oh, yeah, I could see that. They should have altered or at least a cue card at the beginning or something.
Yeah.
Because I do know it affects a lot of people. You got to be empathetic, guys.
It happened when we started watching Stranger Things that Friday night. It had a cue card saying, "Hey, just a heads up, due to the recent events, this opening scene features the death of children in a really graphic way." And I'm pretty good at separating myself from what happens in real life when I watch stuff. But even then, I kind of felt a little bit of like a churning in my stomach, like, "Ooh, yeah." Personally, I mean, I'm not going to take a side on if they should or should not. I'm kind of surprised that they both didn't delay, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Well, Obi-Wan was already delayed once.
Okay.
Because it was supposed to be at the beginning of May. May? And then, whatever. I think it got pushed like 2 weeks or something. So I think they just had that locked in. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
Disney Plus, it's all set. You can't delay the mouse
Yeah.
and their shows. Wait a minute. A couple comments here. I've ignored the chat. I apologize. Ewan McGregor is so good in this series and even better than he was as in the prequel. I agree with that. He owned it. He owned this role.
He gets better. He's getting better as he goes.
And I hope, I know it's difficult. I don't see it happening, but I hope we get more so we can see him even older to match Alec Guinness just for the hell of it. But I don't think it'll happen. No one can ever top Darth Vader as the ultimate Star Wars villain. One of the best movie villains of all time, honestly.
Yeah,
still is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obi-Wan PTSD, Jones and Legend. The actress playing Leia is super adorable. I really like her. She's feisty and witty and just like Carrie Fisher, in my opinion.
Yeah, she's cool. I like
her. There's something here that I wanted to highlight. I lost it. Where was it? Shoot. Who commented on the thing? It was which did we like best? Here it is, Cleveland Brown. The Vespa chase scene in Boba Fett or the Leia chase scene? Yeah, the Leia scene kind of reminded me of something I would have seen a decade ago on TV.
Yeah, it's not that good.
But whatever. It was just 2 minutes of cringe. I'm like, whatever. Sure.
Yeah.
I like the Vespas though. Vespas are hot. I don't think she understood the character. I saw her in Queen's Gambit, and she's good. I don't doubt it. And a lot of people are complaining about that online, and they're saying like, "Oh, she has this many years of acting and like a degree," and like, yes, that's wonderful. But you can still have a bad performance, and that's okay, and still be an excellent actor. People. I mean, it's been done since the dawn of Hollywood. You can do some good roles and some bad roles.
Yeah, happens to everybody. I mean, hell, Hugh Jackman had X-Men Origins Wolverine. Everybody gets a dud every once in a while.
Oh, here's a question for you. Lou, how do you feel about Ted Lasso ending in the upcoming season 3?
This was the original plan that they had mapped out. They had 3 seasons mapped out for Ted Lasso. So them wrapping it up with season 3, it's going to be bittersweet for me, but if they want to go out on top and this is what they originally thought, that's fine with me. I love the series. I love
better to do 3 solid stories and seasons or whatever than to drag it out, I think.
Yeah.
That said, I've only watched the first episode, and I do apologize because I know everybody loves the show and I should be watching it. I had Apple TV, Apple Plus. And I canceled my thing because I had a year trial because last year I got a new phone, so they give you a year for the service, and I only used it to watch 1 episode of Ted Lasso, and I was watching the Dinosaur Prehistoric Planet documentary, and that was it. I couldn't find anything to watch that interests me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna renew. I know it's the cheapest one, but nah. So I'll find a way to watch Ted Lasso. Don't worry about it.
Apple TV's on the come up, man. They've got a lot of good stuff on there.
Their shows look amazing, and it has the best UI.
Yeah.
Like visually, all the shows look super nice in the 4K and all that. And the UI I think it's the best one.
Dude, you need to get on Severance. Honestly, I get Apple TV just for Ted Lasso and for Severance alone. It pays for the year. It's so worth it for those 2 shows alone.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk Berserk real quick? Or
yeah, sure. Give me 1 quick minute here. You got a free year. Yeah, they were doing their. Did they change that now? That sucks. Last year they gave me a full year of Apple Plus or whatever. I keep saying Apple TV and it's Apple Plus.
I got a full year because of my Mac when I bought my Mac.
There you go. My year of Apple. I only watched their Peanut series. They just need to beef up their library, and maybe at some point I'll sign in or log in or whatever in. Lou, have you started Injustice? No rush, since Jess won't read it too quickly. That's true.
No, I haven't started yet. I start summer break. Well, I've got tomorrow's the day where teachers go in and they turn in all their stuff and kind of check out for the summer. So that's when I'm going to start a lot of stuff over the next few months.
That's also true. He didn't give a poop emoji about anyone. But I see what Oxmead Pete is saying in terms of choreography. But I suspect we're going to get some badassery in the final episode. But episode 3, they even made a Lego set out of episode 3. That's how good it is. Okay, so real quick, we got 2 more topics to close this because I put it in the thumbnail. Can you give everybody your first impressions on Miss Marvel? I didn't watch it because I had no idea it was out, so I haven't seen it.
I didn't think it was terrible. Honestly, it's the first episode. I think they capture the spirit of the comic really well. Her relationship with her family, her relationship with her friends. She nails Kamala 100%. I forgot the actress's name, but she 100% nails that character, and I think she embodies it really, really well. Playing nitpicky nerd, the biggest gripe that I have is how she gets her powers, which we knew they were going to change it. But so, slight spoilers, I guess, for Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel, the way she gets her powers was a huge lead up, and it was a spin out. It spun out of the Terrigen bomb and Terrigen mist sequence of events that happened in the Inhumans. It was awesome.
That was in Infinity from Jonathan Hickman.
Yes, and that stuff was badass. It was so great. We get none of that here. I don't get what Marvel's thing is with the Inhumans, the MCU's thing, because we just have Black Bolt in Doctor Strange. So why can we not do some form of the Terrigen Mist or Terrigenesis or any of that stuff in this series? You just established the Inhumans are canon in some way, shape, or form, despite the fact what happened in the TV show years ago. I know they kind of don't want that to exist, but now they do because Black Bolt is back. And
they added the show to Disney Plus, for Christ's sakes.
Right. So technically, I'm assuming it's canon, I guess.
Sadly.
Why don't they do the Terrigen Mist stuff? You could still kind of keep the same power set where she's not stretchy or anything like that. But so the way she gets her powers in this is she literally finds a bangle in her parents' attic or something like that. And she finds it in her parents' attic and she puts it on for this cosplay contest at an event called Avengers Con, which
that's cool.
Jesus Christ, I don't know why nobody's done an Avengers Con yet, and give it a few years because I'm pretty sure Disney will put together an Avengers Con, and it will and it'll probably be at Disney World or something like that. That would be badass, by the way. Just think about the money and the aesthetic that Disney can put together for something like that.
Yeah.
So it feels like, for me, it feels like you want a hero to get their powers and discover what their powers are as a build up and a huge moment.
Yeah.
I think that's always the best way to go about it. I don't feel like we got any of that. That's my nitpick. That's my only nitpick on this series so far. I don't think I'm necessarily the target audience for this. I asked because my wife watched the whole thing this morning as she was getting our kids' hair ready for the day. And I asked her when I came home from work, so what'd you think of the series? She goes, I didn't like it. And I'm kind of wondering because I think this is aimed at more maybe the iCarly generation, the younger preteens. The younger preteens and stuff like that, and teenagers. That's the vibe I'm getting.
I mostly play it for laughs on this show. When I play a character, guys. I act. When I'm like, oh, the Inhumans, but yes, I'm still pissed off of that. But I have no doubt that the show will be good. It looks fun. I like the people, the main actress and all that stuff. That's great. I'm just upset because I read an interview with the creators and whatever, and they were mentioning the Inhumans connection and how I think the show's only 6 episodes. Plus, they have the Marvels movie they have to set up Kamala's journey into that film as well. So they didn't have time to introduce Inhuman stuff. And I think for me, as a longtime Inhumans fan, I kind of found it like a little bit of a slap in the face because I'm like, nobody asked to set up the Inhumans. However, I wanted her to be an Inhuman for a future thing because I know the character is going to be a hit. I want her to succeed, and I want. It's so stupid that people review bomb that show. It's so pathetic.
Dumb
Seriously, get a life. I want her to get many seasons and movies and all that stuff because she's great. I love Miss Marvel. I have freaking action figures and pops and the freaking comics. I just wanted to see my favorite group of people in the Marvel universe be represented, and she is one of the highlights for the Inhumans, and I wanted to see that. And good for her in the new origin, but I'm not a fan of that stuff. I'm gonna watch the show.
Yeah.
I just didn't know it was on today. I would completely miss the boat on that.
Yeah.
But I am gonna watch it. I'm gonna talk about it with you guys and review it like I do any other Marvel stuff. So I wanted to say that before people start saying like, "Oh, you're just being a hater because she's not Inhuman." Yeah. Go ahead.
Did you feel that the marketing on this was almost next to none? Because I woke up this morning, I put on Disney Plus because I was going to put something on for my daughter to watch while my wife does her hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, Ms. Marvel is today.
I think it was like a blitzkrieg promotion type thing for her because I saw the trailer and posters and that's it. And now the show dropped. I'm like, oh, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
But I was already committed to watching Obi-Wan, so I watched that. I'll watch Miss Marvel tomorrow and give you my thoughts next week or whatever.
Yeah. Again, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad show. I don't think, like I said, I'm the target audience necessarily.
I have no opinion on it, so don't sue me, guys.
I'm going to stick with it, though. I'm going to watch the rest of it.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to seeing her interact with Carol. That's going to be super fun.
Oh, joy. A fun character with a character that has the personality of a toilet paper roll.
You know what? Hold on. Before we wrap up, I know you want to mention the Berserk stuff, and I do too. I am going to go in depth about it tomorrow on the manga show, but I wanted to show you a drawing of Kamala. This was done by Retsu Tateo, probably butchered that, Japanese artist.
Mm-hmm.
I saved this because I think it looks amazing, and I think if there's one Marvel character that should get an animated motion picture and it will be successful as hell, is Kamala. Because I saw this drawing and I'm like, yes. Her aesthetic and her fanboy mentality about superheroes lends extremely well for an anime adaptation. Mm-hmm. And I saw this, I'm like, hell freaking yes, I am all up for it.
Yeah, I agree. And you'll notice they play a lot with her imagination in the series, where a lot of background stuff will be moving and she's thinking about stuff because she's a stereotypical kid from this day. And I think they nail that aspect of her where she likes to write and she's got her imagination that goes crazy. And you see that in the background, and Jesus Christ, they owe Edgar Wright a fuck ton of money because they lifted a lot of kind of his style for this series. Yeah. But she's great. I have no problem with the actress in the role. I think, again, she nails it. I just don't like the power set because I'm a fucking nerd and I like the original stuff. And I don't like how she gets the power set. Thank you. That's it.
And I will say, I'm just going to throw this out there. My opinion will change by the end of the show when it finishes. I'm just going to say, if they suddenly want to make what's another superhero? The Fantastic Four, and I say, you know what, the Fantastic Four, you can change their power set. It's all right. It's more about the story.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be mad at that because you
Gabe.
like these characters and I wanted to see the stretchy stuff.
Gabe.
And the Inhumans connection. Will we get it? Maybe at some point. You can always retcon stuff.
Yep.
The actress is a Black Bolt fan, as Hayden points out. That's cool. This is insulting to me that cocaine was mentioned and then the Inhumans were not, but okay. There is a post-credit scene. I don't know what it is. Don't spoil it for me. I'm going to watch it later.
Yeah, I saw that.
Villani, I hope I'm saying that right. Iman Villani is so great in the role of Miss Marvel. Just from what I've seen in the trailers, I think she does capture the spirit of the character. But as a purist and a hardcore nerd for this shit, I wanted to see accuracy. Because if you have accuracy for Black Panther, for Spider-Man, for Iron Man, for what else? Captain America, whatever. I wanted to see it for Miss Marvel. And the excuse, like, we don't have time to set up the Inhumans. I never said I wanted an Inhuman setup. I just wanted her to be an Inhumans. That's it.
Yep.
That's all I wanted.
Yep.
Welcome. Goodbye. Thank you for coming to the TED Talk. Aquaman Andromeda came out today. You interested? Hell yeah. I'm waiting for everything to be collected so I can read it. Okay, Berserk. Berserk is finally coming back. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh my god. I'm so happy I could finally finish this series.
Berserk. I knew it was going to happen. We called it. Come on. Everybody called it.
We called it. Yeah, we called this about a year ago after he passed away.
Passed away last May 6th of 2021.
Right. I stopped reading the series because I didn't want to read something that's unfinished. I'm just a completionist like that. And now I can finally go, okay, I can finish this series now.
Where did you leave off on Berserk?
Shit, man. I left off the Moth. I can't even remember. It's been almost a year.
Oh, Mothra lady. I can't show her because she's naked. I can't show that. Sorry.
Yeah, her. So shortly after
the Eclipse?
The Eclipse arc.
Golden Age stuff. Post Golden Age, Guts is angry as hell.
Yeah.
And that is what makes that arc so difficult to get through for a lot of people. Because you're like, man, he's unrelentless. But coming off the Golden Age stuff, you get it. So he's rage-induced, like, big time. But after that comes the Conviction arc, was it? And the Millennium Falcon and all the other stuff, the boat arc. It goes into wonderful territories after that. My favorite, you have not met Shirky, right? I mean, you've seen her, the little witch girl.
Yes.
Okay, she's my favorite side character. My favorite character aside from Guts is her. I love that character so much, and I can't wait for you to read about her. She's awesome.
Cool.
Berserk is coming back. Miura's longtime friend is going to finish it with Studio Gaga, excuse me, based off all the notes and conversations that they had. Because we mentioned it last year, and a lot of people were like, oh, it's not going to happen because they don't know the finale. I'm like, what kind of workplace is this where they don't know where the story's headed? You do that. The production has to know where it's headed. So they're going to do their best. Obviously, they're going to be heavily scrutinized by the community online, but don't pay attention to that. And if you're a purist and you don't want to read that stuff, the series kind of had an emotional finale with the volume 41.
Mm-hmm.
But what they're going to do now is they're doing 6 more chapters to wrap up the current stuff, the Fantasia arc, and then they're just going to do the final story and wrap it up. So I think I could see it going for like 50 volumes, honestly. Another 9 more books to wrap everything up, if it does well.
Yeah, this is, I think the big question is, well, there's a few things when I read this, I was like, man, the balls it's going to take to do this, because they even say, I like that they flat out addressed in the statement, look, we know that a lot of you aren't necessarily going to be happy with how this ends, or you're going to be disappointed because it's not 100% Miura's work. And my understanding of it is that this is his best friend of over 30 years who wrote what's the name
Holy
of the
Land.
Holy Land, which
Yeah.
I have always heard is no slouch of a series itself. I've heard it's great stuff too. So he's apparently filling in as the writer because he's one of the only people in the world that has talked to Miura. And Miura was like, look, this is what I want my ending for Berserk to be. This is how it's going to play out. These are some of the conversations that they're going to have. So in a lot of this stuff, they're working off of basically bullet points and off the dome conversations that he has had with Miura before Miura passed away. The thing is also with that is that Miura was sick for a while, so it's not like he up and died one day and it was like, ah, shit, nobody saw that coming. So I imagine he had full on conversations with his assistants, with everybody, and he's like, look, this is what I want. I want this to end this way.
Yeah.
My big question is this going to be a full on sprint towards the end, or are we talking about years of content that they're going to lay out and maybe wrap it up that way? That's what I'm thinking.
I think it's best to finish it. Well, not too quickly because you might not get the result you're expecting, but maybe flesh it out a little bit more so that they can get their footing and make a proper finale.
Mm-hmm.
Because it might, if it's too rushed, it's just going to be like a jumbled mess of ideas
Right.
cobbled together. But yeah, I think they should take their time, but not too long. Because yeah, the story itself was already on its way towards a finale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh, Miura stated that in interviews before he passed. And here in this translated note from the production at Studio Gaga and Young Animal, what's cool about it is that his assistants they were trained under Miura, so they were emulating his art.
Mm-hmm.
And if you read some of his recent Berserk chapters and the Mesopotamian manga that I can't remember right now, Duranki or however you say it, that was done by the staff, and that looks really good. So I don't mind the manga looking like that. It looks like Miura's work. It's not going to be the original, obviously, but and we joked about it on our chat. Like, if something were to happen to us, you damn right, you want your friends to continue whatever it is you were working on.
Absolutely.
I mean, Miura spent 30 years working on Berserk. I would be pissed off if something happened and I'm like, damn it, I didn't get to finish the damn thing. If
Yeah.
X or Y friend can finish it, that'd be great. And then I could rest in peace.
Yeah. We should also note this isn't a thing that's happening next year. We're not getting new chapters next year. We're getting new chapters in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yeah. Yeah, they've
It's
been working on it.
crazy. They just drop this and be like, yeah, you're getting a new Berserk chapters.
It's not like we have a year to like speculate. No, it's happening like 2 weeks from now. We're in a new chapter.
Right. And this is nothing against Miura at all, but with some fresh new blood into the mix, I'm hoping this will be more consistent and we'll get these new chapters more regularly instead of getting a drip feed of 5 to 6 chapters every 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully.
You know?
Yep.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be where they have to grind out chapters every single week or whatever it is. By all means, take your time, take care of your health, because you guys are the only ones that know what the ending of this is. But
young animal is monthly.
Yeah.
So I hope I'm not asking for 12 chapters per year, but if they can do 4 or 5, I'm good with that and go at that a steady pace. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say they do that. Let's say they go that route, which is fine. We're talking, Lord knows how many chapters is the final arc going to be. But this one, they have to wrap up how many more? Four more chapters to finish this arc.
6 more to wrap up the Fantasia stuff and then go into the new arc, which would be the finale.
Okay, so that's this year. Those 6 chapters are probably going to be this year, and that's going to be it, which is fine. And then next year we'll probably start getting into the real bulk of. All right, we don't really have Miura stuff. We're kind of going off the dome, and we're going off of bullet points. So let's see where we go with this.
Fortunately, the heavy lifting or the heavy labor has already passed because you have 41 volumes of material to understand the characters, the world, the setting. So it's now it's putting on the thinking cap and think, how can we corral this thing into a finale and line everything up.
The plane is built, the plane is flying, it's landing it.
How do we land it? Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Lars Gunderson says, like Brandon Sanderson finishing the Wheel of Time. Yeah, it's very similar to the Brandon Sanderson situation. The only thing is Brandon Sanderson had extensive notes to work off of. We're talking about years and years of notes that were like laid out perfectly for Sanderson to finish out. And Sanderson had done, I think it was like 2 or 3 books already before the original Wheel of Time author had passed out with the original Wheel of Time author. This is, like I said, from what I've read, they've got a few bullet points. They've got conversations that they've had with Miura, and the rest is, all right, we're working off the dome and whatever. And the motto, I love the statement that they put out. The motto is, what would Miura do, or something like that? What would Miura do, or it's Miura's story, or something like that?
Upon resuming the series, our production team decided on a basic policy. Mr. Miura said so.
Yep, that's it.
This is what the production team kept in mind. Since he did not leave behind rough drafts, it is impossible for us to create a manuscript exactly in the way he would have intended. However, we will write the manga so as not to deviate from Miura's own words. We would like to take the Kentaro Miura that we knew so fondly through our conversations and work and convey this to all of you in a sincere manner. We believe in that this policy, although imperfect, is the best way to deliver the Berserk that Miura envisioned to everyone as faithfully as possible.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me find another thing I wanted to read here. Before his passing, Miura spoke to his close friend Koji Mori about the stories and episodes he had in mind for Berserk. He also had similar talks with his studio staff and editor. Of course, you got to talk to your editor. He wondered, would everyone be surprised if I drew something like this? How about a character like that? Would this storyline be interesting? The talks were not meant as his last words, but were a part of his ordinary days as a manga artist. And he left behind like concept art for different things in his office. So I'm pretty sure they're going to incorporate that.
Yeah. And I need a book of all that stuff, all that concept art. And that, oh my God. Can you imagine when they finish this series, if they put out a concept art book of all his stuff?
There are 2 books that I want to get, but they're really expensive. One was for the art show that they did, and it's like the art of Kentaro Miura. It's a Japanese book. It's an art book. I do want to get that, but it's really expensive. I think it goes for close to $100. And I think there's another Berserk book with his concept art in it. I'm not too sure. This is very important. James brings out a good point. Did you know about this? We're getting finally a good priced figure for Berserk, because Berserk, I love it, but like you can get stuff from the 90s and early 2000s that is out of print and super expensive, or you can go the extremely expensive route and buy $1,000 statues that are like 40 inches tall or whatever. There's no middle ground for Berserk. There's no like, here's a $20 toy, enjoy. No, it's either $100 for an out of print figure from the 98, 99 series or 96, or the Prime One stuff and XM Studios, which is like $1,500. Now, Good Smile is doing the pop-up parade, which is meant to be an affordable collectible line for fans. I have one pop-up statue of the Journey game, the Traveler, and they're really well made. So I am definitely going to pick up the Berserk one. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
I got you. Let me pull that up. Pop-up Parade Guts. This is a slight spoiler if you've never read, if you're reading Berserk and aren't up to date with it. You know about the armor, right?
Yeah.
The
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're doing that in a statue. I think it's going to be 12 inches or 14 inches or 16. I don't know by inches. Sorry.
Yeah.
That sounded wrong, and I hope somebody doesn't clip that. So this was revealed last month, I think.
Sweet Jesus, how much?
I think it's going to be between 100 and 150
Worth it.
because this is going to be, I think it's 16 inches tall, which is pretty nice for a statue. Again, I'd rather pay this. I'm like, thank you. Now I can, because the whole idea of getting collectibles is that you love something so much, you want a physical representation of that love on your shelf. That's the whole point. That's why I collect plastic on my shelves back there. So to have this affordable Berserk piece, hell yeah, I'm in.
So now that this is, I guess you could say, again, we're probably years away from seeing the finale of this.
Yeah, I'd say like 2 or 3 years.
Easily. So now that this is wrapping up, how long before we get an anime? Another one?
With the announcement, I think there could be renewed interest in rebooting the show.
Yeah.
Doing like a full-on reboot with a proper anime studio or whomever decides to make it, from episode 1 with the Golden Age all up to Fantasia.
Yeah.
I could see it happening.
But
I am really missing out having not read Berserk. Keep this in mind. If you do decide to journey into Berserk, it is a very dark, brutal series. But if you read it, you will be rewarded with one of the best dark fantasy stories of all time, an influential one. There is heavy subject matter like essays and murder and grotesque images and monsters and demons, and the list can go on. But you will find a very human story in it, with Guts' story of resilience and finding love and friendship after a heavy loss. There's a whole lot that you can take away from Berserk. It's not just a guy swinging a sword and killing monsters.
Right. That's a very shallow. Simply enjoying Berserk because of like, oh my gosh, it's a guy killing monsters and demons.
It's so metal.
Oh yeah. We all know the popular YouTubers and stuff like that. That's kind of like, oh man, that's badass. Yeah, you kind of miss the fucking point of the series, which is that stuff is cool, but there's a lot of heart to it as well. And at the bottom of at its core, what the story is, it's the story of two friends who they eventually drift apart because of views that they see, and one of them being really fucking hurt because of that, and what that leads to and stuff like that. Because the thing is, yes, the story of Berserk is the story of Guts, but it's also just as much the story of Griffith as well. And I've heard in the later chapters that I have yet to read, they really dive deeper into that relationship and what happened there.
Yeah.
And it's very shallow to think, man, this series is just about killing monsters and stuff like that. And to me, that's not even the best stuff. That's great. It's really cool. And Miura's art is gorgeous, and the stuff that they put on page is horrifying and amazing.
Yeah.
That's not the stuff that I enjoy the most about the series.
Mm-hmm. Also, another warning, the first 3 volumes are not indicative of the whole series, and you might be put off a little bit by it, but if you're willing to give it a shot, you're going to love it. And also, if you guys are watching and you're not manga readers, don't get this series thinking every manga is like this, because it's not. And this is just an offshoot because people went crazy buying the deluxe edition hardcovers, and they're upset because like, why can't all manga be deluxe edition hardcovers? This was just a rare case.
Yes.
That and Blade of the Immortal, because manga is printed on cheap paper in Japan, and it's a quick read in small tankobon, smaller books. So people in the West, they see the deluxe editions and think, oh, everything has to be like this, and they hype it up. So I hate for people to go in expecting that. Just know that it's a little bit of a rough start, like anybody else doing like a long story, but it does get better.
And
Oh yeah, Helsing. Helsing is literally about killing Nazi zombies with vampires and werewolves and over the top action. And people were treating it like, I'm expecting this to be a magnum opus because look at the leathery, oversized hardcover. And when they read it, they're like, this isn't that good. I'm like, you're kind of missing the point with Helsing. It's like popcorn action flick.
it's a Michael Bay movie. It's a Michael
Yeah.
Bay movie.
Yeah. It's great. It's phenomenal. I love it. I
Yeah.
love the show and I love the manga, but like you can't compare it to other stuff. Don't let the trim size fool you.
Yeah, and the thing is, Berserk is arguably one of the greatest, if it not in a lot of people's eyes, the greatest manga of all time. It's up there. It just really is. It's so influential in pop culture. I mean, just look at the recent stuff involving Elden Ring and Dark Souls and all that series and what they reference.
Even Cloud with Final Fantasy and
Yep.
Bleach with Ichigo.
Yep, it's so influential, and if you set your standards, everything should be like Berserk. You're never gonna really be happy with like 99% of what you read.
I do recommend. There's a video of another YouTuber, Beyond Ghibli, I think that's his name. He does video essays, and he does one on Berserk and like all the stuff that we mentioned, plus more topics like toxic masculinity and the movies and the anime and the video games. Really, really good analysis on Berserk. So I think it's Beyond Ghibli. That's his name. Okay. Popular YouTuber. Berserk is badass. Gut sword is like my pee-pee. Have UFO table or MAPPA. I'd rather get MAPPA or OLM back, honestly.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
UFO table, because UFO table has a style to it. They're great. They're one of the goats in the anime industry, but they have a certain style that I don't think it meshes well with the character designs for Berserk.
Can't be worse than 2016.
Oh my god. I worked at a library and in charge of buying the comic book collection. I bought all the tankobons and did not read one of them. I think you should check it out. The first chapter, literally the first thing you see when you open the Berserk is Guts clapping cheeks with a demon.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. After you read the first 3 volumes, or the first 13 volumes, you go back to that scene and you're like, oh, I get it. I understand why it was so extreme at the beginning.
But even then, knowing what you know about Guts and how he feels about people touching him, like, I don't know, it seems a little off.
Or maybe it was just Muta being a little bit edgy at the time. It was 88, I think, 1980s, 86 or 87, something. Rose Gray, thank you for joining. We're about to wrap up in like 2 minutes. Don't worry. James, are you going to talk about The Boys? I don't watch or read The Boys, so I have nothing to add, but maybe you can talk about that for 2 minutes.
Yeah, real quick, 2 minutes. The Boys is back. Goddamn, do I fucking love that show. Goddamn, is it one of the best things that's being written on TV, and goddamn, is it so fucking fun, and goddamn, is it it's just one of the best things that's being written on TV. Nice. And they do, what he's talking about is they do a parody of the Ant-Man in the butt thing, only they do it a different way around.
Oh, really?
And it goes a way where my mouth just dropped, and it was left there for about 2 minutes after that scene ended. And oh my god, I love this show. I absolutely love The Boys. It's so it's a breath of fresh air.
Interesting. There you go, James.
Yeah.
One day I'll watch it, but I'm not in any hurry. I got a million other things I'm watching, so it's not on my priority list. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I'll get to it one day. Not now.
Yeah.
So that's it. We talked a lot. We crammed a crap ton of topics in this episode. Those are the best kinds of episodes. Speaking of episodes and a lot of cool stuff, if you want Berserk, if you want JSA books, if you want, what else did we talk about? Star Wars books, if you want Miss Marvel books, you get them at instocktrades.com, your home for all things collected editions, manga, trade paperback, hardcovers, deluxe hardcovers, omnis, absolutes, all that stuff. You find it by going over to instocktrades.com, up to 50% off on weekly discounts. Loyalty discounts tack on an extra 2% to that if you order on a week by week basis. Fantastic customer service and wonderful packaging at instocktrades.com, the official sponsor of Omnibros Live here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. There you go. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You guys are fantastic. I am going to crash because I used all my energy in reserve to make the show. So now the adrenaline is wearing off. So now I'm like, I'm done. Lou, where can people find you on the internet when you're not hanging out on this show?
Find me at Comics Guide 101 on Twitter and Comics Guide 101 on YouTube. I do plan to start Twitch streaming sometime next week, so be on the lookout for that. I'm probably
Did you set up the profile yet or not yet?
I have one from years ago that I used very infrequently that I need to take a look at. But I will be sometime next week.
Okay, so when you get that, we'll promote it. We'll add a link. Me, what about myself? I talk about anime and manga on my channel, A Week in Geekdom. You can follow me there. I have a gaming channel called Geekdom Gaming. And if not, hit me up on Twitter and we can chat about whatever. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with a manga news-centric episode. Maybe some reads. We'll see. And then Monday, we're doing it all over again with hauls, previews, and reads. That's the schedule. Thank you, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope the week goes by quick and you can enjoy your favorite hobbies. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Stay safe. God bless. Catch you on the next stream.